Hi, cat. Come and get some mango, baby.
One, two, 1, 2, 3. Self-awareness is a superpower. My name is KathyLaDonna. Welcome to Soul and Vibration. I hope the free thinkers are doing well. And if you are not doing well, I'm happy to remind you that you are the most powerful person that you know. You are the most powerful person that you know because only you can create your reality. Hey guys, today is Monday, May 8th, and the energies in the day adds up and reduced to number 2 vibration. If today is your birthday, happy birthday. So when it comes to the spirit animal, we are working with the Cobra energy, and the Cobra energy is bringing me to the importance of shedding skin. The Cobra energy is bringing me to the importance of leaving certain things behind. But when I think about the day adding up and reducing to the number 2 vibration, I think about how power and strength looks different in everyone and how important it is for you to figure out what your power is, what your strength is, and embracing it so you can build on it and so you can get even stronger when it comes to those things. And also too, when it comes to say, what are your weaknesses? It's important for you to also become aware of your weaknesses. Becoming aware of your weaknesses to me is like recognizing certain shadow aspects of yourself so that these things don't come out when you least expect or control your life in ways that, don't control your life in ways or have you looking stupid. Like I think about, say for example, a person, think of a person who naturally looks for reasons to support other people and validate them because maybe deep down that person needed validation most of their life. So this person looks for reasons to celebrate and support others and validate them. But deep down, that person is doing it for themselves because their whole life, maybe that's what they wanted more than anything. But then the shadow aspect of this person might be whenever they are in their feelings or frustrated, they might do the opposite of that, where they might oppose, rebel, but just for the sake of rebelling, not rebelling because what's happening here is totally against what I believe and I'm just not supporting it. It's a matter of rebelling because that's that person's way of asserting themselves and that's that person's way of demanding respect. That's that person's way of maybe punishing another. And imagine that's a shadow aspect of a person, so they don't even realize they're doing it. And it's like, think of anger or triggers almost like drunkenness, where it's like something comes over you and then all of a sudden you find yourself, acting out in certain ways only for it to pass. And then now this person has to kind of double back and kind of like have to now turn around and try to go back to the connections where before they would normally be in agreement with these people. And now, something's happened and there was a big back and forth struggle, but there was no true justification for the struggle other than that person just wanted to assert themselves in that way. And then now there's a vibe. And now this person feels ashamed because now they have to go back and interact with those people. But of course, this person's not going to say address like what happened. It's more like acting like it never happened and finding ways to be super nice or super kind or super helpful to kind of make up and cover up for what happened. I feel like when we're unaware of our shadow aspects and unaware of our weaknesses, it's like those things can dominate and control our lives and have us just looking super inconsistent. I know for me, becoming aware of, say, weaknesses of mine, and a weakness of mine before could have been, say, communicating, where I'm communicating with you, and in mid-sentence, I'll stop speaking, assuming that I said everything that needed to be said. Not assuming that, but I'll stop speaking in mid-sentence because in my head, I'm overthinking what I'm saying, and what I'm saying sounds so stupid to me, even though the person listening doesn't think that. But I'm a hard critic, and what I'm saying sounds so dumb. So it's like I stop saying what I'm saying in mid-sentence, or might say a few words, but it's not unclear what it is that I'm saying. And then to continue doing that over time, like, people stop listening because obviously you don't want to be heard. And then obviously you're not fully expressing yourself, so it's hard to listen. So it's like, that was a shadowy thing that I would do where, people wouldn't listen when I speak because I didn't want to be heard and I wasn't fully expressing myself. And it took work to become aware of, like, how I'll do that and then challenge myself when I'm in the midst of expressing something and I feel those emotions come over me, where I feel insecure, I feel insignificant, and I just challenge myself to just speak and say everything that I had to say, and not leave, things half said by saying some things and not saying everything. Or another thing I would realize is that it would be so easy for me to get into it with people who saw things different from me, because I didn't realize at that point, like, I guess I was always seen as someone who is argumentative, because when I'm passionate about a point, like, I just want you to see where I'm coming from. And then I realized that when a person can't hear me, they just can't hear me. And also I realized that it's my insecurity that makes me want to drive home the point so they could get it. Because if I'm confident with what it is that I know, and if I'm confident with what I know, then it doesn't matter what they think. So because it doesn't matter what they think, then if someone asks something, I share, but I don't need to drive it home. I share and I'm good with what they take from it, or if they dismiss it all. So to me, that was a shadow aspect of myself that I had to become aware of, because it would dominate me in a lot of situations where I find myself constantly explaining my beliefs, constantly explaining my choices, explaining why I'm not a bad person because I'm into tarot, numerology, and astrology. And to where it's like, if you're dealing with someone who's the same as, if I'm dealing with someone who's just like me in their own way, meaning that just like me, they're passionate about you seeing things their way, then we would find ourselves going at it and going in circles and circles and circles and circles for even hours. And that was a shadowy aspect, because it just, number one, it was a waste of energy. It was a waste of time. And number two, like, it could turn certain things into a debate when it's just unnecessary. Like, nowadays, only debates I'm interested in having is not me trying to convince someone of anything, but me genuinely trying to understand. It's like the other day when I was reflecting on the full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio energy, and I came to the perspective that values come first and psychology comes second. So first we have values, and then the psychology is developed to protect those values. In this physical realm, everything is developed to protect the physicality of the realm. So I called a friend up to debate me. I wanted my friend to poke holes in my argument. I wanted my friend to share with me different perspectives that I'm not seeing. So for me now, it's like debating is a matter of learning, gaining new perspective, where before I just needed you to see things the way I see it because I was too insecure enough to see it my way alone. I needed company. Ooh, so the tarot we're working with today is the Emperor. So to me, the Emperor and the Cobra energy together both are just powerful energies, and just bringing me to the importance of stability, being comfortable in one's own skin, but at the same time, wisdom. Because when I think of wisdom, wisdom can only be gained through reflection. A person who lacks reflection lacks wisdom. And it doesn't matter what age you are, if you lack reflection, you lack wisdom. And a person could be extremely young and very wise because they're reflective. So when I look at, say, the energies in today, you know, the moon. Today, the moon is in Sagittarius, and today is Monday, Moon Day. And whenever we're dealing with Monday energy, Moon Day energy, like the number 2, Monday is very nurturing. The number 2 is ruled by the moon. So the number 2 is very nurturing, like the moon energy. So this is a day where we nurture ourselves. This is a day of self-care. This is a day of emotional reflection. But with the moon in Sag, the last thing the moon in Sag wants to do is reflect. Because the moon is in a place where it's fiery and passionate, and it's ready for an adventure. It's ready to explore. It's ready to explore everything and anything other than what's happening within the household. I think about the saying, you know, like, take care of your home before you take care of what's about. It's like the person who loves to go and clean everybody else's house, but their house is a mess. I feel like with the moon and Sag energy, we could easily find ourselves in that space where it's like our focus is on everything but what's happening in here. But the Emperor energy is bringing me to the importance of stability, and how stability is gained through wisdom, and how wisdom is gained through reflection, because it's from reflecting we're able to really see ourselves, we're able to correct our behaviors. But then even after reflection, there needs to be accountability meaning that, you know, responsibility, my ability to respond. The only, like, when it comes to life, like, we have control over how we choose to respond. So it's like, yes, this and that happened, but my accountability comes to how I chose to respond. So because I take full responsibility for how I chose to respond, you know, and I don't like the way how things turned out, I'm gonna respond different next time. So that brings me to the argument that I was saying earlier about the importance of shadow work. Shadow work meaning the importance of reflecting on our weaknesses and not allowing them to take control of our lives, and not allow them to take control of our lives or cause us to be inconsistent, because we reflect, we saw our place, we saw our part, we are accountable, we take responsibility. Accountability, we see how we chose to respond, how we could have done things different. And then we do things different moving forward and continue rinsing and repeating that process. And over time, it's like, you know, we take control of our lives and our experiences. And we're not like a plastic bag in the wind where our emotions is being pushed and pulled or even manipulated by those who understand more, who, like I would say, those who are awoke within this dream world. So the moon is positively aspected by Jupiter in Aries. So with the moon positively aspected by Jupiter in Aries, you know, big focus on ourselves and our will to make things happen. So learning about different things that will make us feel more confident and assured. But the moon is also a part of a T-square with Neptune in Pisces and Venus in Cancer. So with the moon part of a T-square, the inner world is challenged when it comes to, say, reflection. Reflection could be hard today. So this is where we could find ourselves escaping through everything and anything. Where with Moon Day is all about reflection, nurturing, and self-care. That's why Mondays can feel so hard. Mondays could feel so challenging, because everything else is pulling us outside of ourselves when our nature is pulling our heart. When, you know, our heart and just our nature is pulling us to go within to reflect and do some cleaning, some self-healing. And with the day being the 8th, the number 8 energy, like the moon in Sag, is one that is so focused on things outside of oneself to the point where we seem numb or we seem absent. And when it comes to, say, the focus of that energy, it's important on a day like this to focus ourselves within. Focus ourselves within and reflect on, you know, reflection. Reflect and take inventory. Take inventory to me is like, you know, where am I right now emotionally? How do I feel? How do I feel about this? How do I feel about that? Like, how is life right now? And of course, you know, once we reflect and we become aware of the changes we want to make, you know, we definitely want to top it off with gratitude, because gratitude is an abundant energy, and it is impossible to feel grateful and lacking at the same time. So yeah, when it comes to Monday, Moon Day, May 8th, energy adding up and reducing to the number 2 vibration. Everything around you will be pulling your attention away from what's happening within you. And of course, the mind will make everything else seem so much more important than reflection. But just keep in mind that your power comes from your ability to reflect. That's where true wisdom comes from. And that's why I always say, like, you know, I hope the free thinkers are doing well, because if you can think for yourself, and we all have the ability to, we just don't all choose to. But if we can think for ourselves, we can save ourselves. And that way of thinking and speaking, or even me saying that saying, came about like right before everything happened with the 2020 lockdown. I've mentioned to you guys that I started having dreams about certain things happening in the world. And long story short, it's like it felt like I should be speaking about a certain thing. And I found a way to speak about certain things in a way that matched me. Meaning that even though I'm a person who loves diving into conspiracies and different things, to me to get up and speak about that every single day pulls me into that frequency. And like, I just don't have the capacity to handle that where someone else does. So instead, I focus on my strength, what I have the capacity to handle, and then in my own way, bring awareness or light to certain things that I'm passionate about. And what I'm passionate about is people being curious and thinking for themselves. Because at the end of the day, like, we're all dreamers, you know, participating in the same dream. But at the same time, those who are awoke or awake or aware are the ones that's manipulating and creating the dream for other people, helping other people to manifest and make their dreams happen. Where when we think for ourselves, when we're free thinkers and we're not afraid to question things and think for ourselves, we get to wake up within our dreams, wake up amongst other dreamers, and wake up amongst those who are awoke within the dream realm, and take our power back and create our own realities, create our own experiences. You guys, such a pleasure sharing this message with you. If you'd like to book a reading with me or check out my weekly exclusive content only on Patreon, the links for that is in the description box below. Please let me know you're here with me by dropping me an orange heart in the comment box below. I would love to hear from you and look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Love yourself as if your life depended on it, because it does. Take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.